else you got?
That's what
next I've got
right there.
a heartwarming story. Peyton Manning, as you know, through the years has done a lot to reach out to families and fans and kids who are real fans of him. Well, he sent a handwritten note to a family in Illinois whose son was and grandson was killed by a drunken driver in March. And this is coming from a local.
The kid was a huge Peyton Manning.
Kid was a huge Peyton Manning fan. This comes from. Local television station there who did this story. Gail Ricketts' grandmother says, as a grandmother, I felt like we should let Peyton know that this young man idolized him and what he meant to his life. So Manning sent a handwritten letter and a signed photo of himself from the Denver Broncos logo that said, in memory of Logan Allen Brown. Really sweet and touching. You don't hear, I don't think, a ton of stories about this from athletes. Like, Peyton is sort of exceptional, I think, in this, in that he goes out and reaches out to fans and does things like this. And I think it really kind of speaks to the sort of character he has. But is this really common among other athletes? I mean, he just seems like
not
somebody
to this extent. If you remember after Katrina, and for those who don't, Eli and Peyton chartered a flight and took necessities to New Orleans. This is a family that was taught to be generous with everything.
Community service.
I will tell you a funny story. So yes, foundations, both of them have foundations. They donate millions of dollars. So if he took a $4 million cut, that really didn't hurt him. It may have hurt some charities. All he continues to. But I'll tell you a very quick story. After Katrina, they live in the Garden District in New Orleans. I called Archie. We've been friends forever, and I said, "Is your house okay? Your family okay?" And he said, "Well, we moved to the farm in Mississippi. We took all our valuables. One thing I left in the house, and when we came back." He said, I had taken Eli and Peyton jerseys, and they both sign a bunch, and Archie gives them to every charity that comes along. He said, I put them above a chest. They'd be protected. The water came up to here. He said, we came back in there, and he said, we don't know how to tell this to Eli, but someone broke into the house, and they stole all the Peyton jerseys and left all the Eli jerseys.
You know what I love about the way Peyton goes about this? That's a great story. Peyton does this stuff quietly. He does a lot of this stuff quietly. As opposed to another quarterback who used to play here, who wore number 15 and threw awkwardly with his left hand, who put out a press release every time he did anything, every time he gave a nickel or 5 minutes of his time to anybody. But Peyton,
ring the bell.
Peyton,
he does these
What's
things
his name?
quietly.
Who are you talking about?
Tim Tebow.
We got it in today.
Yeah,
no, he does. He does these things quietly, and typically they reach out. You know, we've had people come out to us and say, you know, so we had tried to invite Peyton to our wedding, and you know, he actually wrote a note and said, "Hey, thanks, congratulations, I can't make it." So that's just kind of who he is.